There's a monkey. So yeah, what I'd done was my Mobius, when you in bright sunlight when we're out at the club, the forking thing, it sees green, and then you pass the, your camera passes the, I don't know, one way or another, and next thing you know, the grass is brown. So that's annoying. So I enhanced the green, in theory, through a custom program of the camera. Leave it. Come on. Crazy McCrazy. Some more on my father-in-law. So he, became a diesel mechanic, and eventually, leave it, and eventually a minister. That's not
flaps half, flaps up.
The wrong frequency, Ken. That's pretty nice little 7-knot breeze out of the east, or flaps. So where was I? Yeah, Pops became a minister, and he actually married me and my wife.
5 minutes.
So fun stuff there. Some 31 years ago. God almighty, it seems like yesterday. It really does. It's unnerving. What else I do? Little stuff. Cleaned up some programming on my radio. Eliminated the the Long Easy Voyager from my lineup, because that bitch is getting fired. I'm fixing to probably re-glue it today and use it as a static display in my home office. I'm gonna spend about $300 on myself for Christmas, and I'm thinking Bushmule. Let's see how that goes. You know, it's funny, up against the clouds,
4 minutes.
I see my beaver a whole lot better. Did you get it? What else I do? A lot of fucking off yesterday. Played with the table late in the day. I wanted to see every Stanley Kubrick movie, and I, for 3 hours, I watched, it's a period piece, and damn it, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it's 1975, period piece, early 1770s, and basically a young Irishman was looking to marry a widow. And it was what I call an HBO slice of life movie. That was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't great, and it was, his direction is interesting, much like in The Shining and other movies, 2001. What he must instruct the actors to do is pause before speaking, like an unnatural 5 beats,
3 minutes.
which makes you pay very close attention to what they're saying. Although it's obnoxious. I have a friend of mine, James Yetter. He's a wildlife officer with us. Actually, he was involved in that airlift out of Texas, where the 3 of them went in the drink. And he's one of those guys. You're talking to him on the phone or in person, and he just takes in what you say, and it may be another 3 or 5 seconds before he replies. Whereas normal human beings have a pretty quick situation there. Timber. Caught up on a lot of videos. Hid from the non-existent heat. It really wasn't hot yesterday. You get in this bullshit mode where you don't want to go outside because it's so hot, and turns out it's not that damn hot.
2 minutes.
High 80s for us is wonderful. Wife spent almost half the day working on the travel trailer, just getting rid of shit we don't need from summer, reorganizing. You know, you have this idea that you have to have your kitchen all, inside your kitchen, whereas, the travel trailer is just, it's a tiny house, so you got to store shit where you can store it. And her thought process was, and actually it's fairly wrong, worrying about bending down, getting things out of the lower cabinets. You know, the things you use less, you put in the lower cabinets, which is correct, but she's like, well, we'll put plates in upper cabinets, so you don't have to bend so much. Well, all that bending's actually good for you. But she was actually doing something and being engaged, which makes me happy. There are things called friction hinges on my travel trailer, and basically it's just where they bind the hinges with something sacrificial, probably like a nylon nut in the manufacturer of the hinge, and it's supposed to handle 15-mile-per-hour winds. So when you unlock the door or open the door, it's actually kind of hard to pull open, which I didn't much care for. And then when the wind blows, it really doesn't fucking keep the door open.
30 seconds.
I'm used to a latch and hook type arrangement, and there really wasn't a whole lot of room for it, and I was nervous about it, putting them on because I didn't want to punch through and get an electrical line and burn my fucking travel trailer down. So the travel trailer company called the RV Factory, which I highly recommend you not buy.
10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds.
Those pricks. John Mullen specifically, god damn, it's 7 days or so before you get a response from them. Oh, it's just terrible. You know, shitty customer service, just shitty. You're gonna get it? So those motherfuckers anyway. So anyway, I went ahead and he was asking me if I'm going to buy a new friction hinge to see if I'm going to install it. And boy, that's surgery. What they did was, when they installed the doors, rather than using screws on both sides of the hinge, that is in the actual doorway, and then on attaching the door, use pop rivets. Yeah, got to drill every one of them goddamn things out. Not happening. And then if the friction hinges, which is made by a company called Challenger rather than a really good company called Lippert. If they fail after, you know, let's say 1,000 opens and closures over the time that I've owned it, that would be fair. Then they're going to fail again in another fucking 1,000. So why bother? All these other years, I'm used to just using a hook and closure fastener. You know, I put a nice galvanized steel one on there. This is it. 7 minutes on a 3,000. I would prefer a stainless version, but I didn't see it offered. I don't know if I've actually seen them in the wild. I used stainless steel screws, and I used Marine 5200 caulk, which is the best on the planet. And it works perfectly. I can get in and out of my door easy without it being, the feeling of it being binded, so to speak, and or bound. And there you have it. So, motherfuckers. Probably going to take a sickie this week, Wednesday or Thursday. I think Blade Runner 2049 premieres 7 p.m. on Thursday, I think. If that's true, then I'm going to take a sickie Thursday. Maybe. Or perhaps Friday. Maybe Friday, because that's my first day of nights. And I'm not acting lieutenant, this shithead is. So nice. My boss is being uncharacteristically, for her nature, kind to me. Not that she isn't kind in general, but she's kind of going over her normal kindness. Oh, back to my father-in-law. All the people who evaluated my my dossier when I hired on.